Hello everyone, welcome back to Mommy Trader. If you are new to the channel, welcome, and if you are a returning investy bestie, thank you so much for coming back. I do appreciate all of you guys being here. We are a family of 5, so it's my husband, myself, and we have 3 kids, a 15-year-old, 11, and 9, and we plan on achieving something called FIRE, which is financial independence, retire early in almost 5 years with a $3 million net worth, and we just became millionaires back in August, first generation millionaires. And so if that sounds interesting to you, you want to know more about beginner investing tips and tricks, you want to see inside of our investment accounts with real numbers, then subscribe to the channel, like the video, and join us. I think you will find some value in this content, especially if you want to know more about investing and you want a simple, easy hand-holding approach, because I'm all about that over here. Each one, teach one, so we can all get to our personal financial goals together. Okay, so in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the order of investing, or how we actually structure our investment accounts, because there is a method to this madness. So on average, we try to invest about $8,000 a month. Yes, I know that is a lot of money, but again, we would not have been able to do something like that if we did not start with the $100 that we were doing with our 401k. Now, I talked about that in our debt-free video, which I will link over here, and I also talked about that in the Q&A that I did with my husband right here as well. And I think you guys would enjoy getting to know us, getting to know how we grew up and our approach to money and how we really made a change in our financial lives. And so you guys can check those videos out if you are interested. We do invest on average about $8,000 a month, and that encompasses a whole lot of different types of investment accounts that I will talk to you about in this video. Okay, but before I go into details, I'm not a financial advisor, I'm not a fiduciary, but I do believe in sharing financial knowledge. And again, I'm trying to expose you guys on what money can do for you, because it's not talked about in schools. And I feel like if this was taught more to the masses, so many more people would be so much farther along in life. So we're going to take the taboo-ness of money down, and we are going to just kind of dig deep into what investing is and taking you guys into our account with our real numbers so that you guys can see, okay, this actually works. And so let's start with the 401k. This is the account that we start with. And if you don't have a 401k, you probably have a 403b or something of the like. Again, just company sponsored accounts. This account is pre-tax, meaning that they take this before the government get their hands on taking taxes out. We actually save for our future. So that's a bonus of starting with these types of accounts. Go down to your HR person, your benefits person. They'll be able to direct you. You can sign up a lot of the cases online so that you can actually see your 401k or your company sponsored account in real time. You can check on it a couple of times a month just to see how your investments are doing. A lot of these accounts are actively managed by a fund manager, so you don't have to go in and like switch things around and all of that, especially if you are new, because you will trigger a tax event. So just leave it up to that person until you kind of get to know more about investing in different funds and stocks and bonds, and then you can just go from there. But yes, we plan on maxing hours out. We are on the road to do that this year. It's $19,500 to max out your 401k, and we are on route to do that this year. So that's where we start first. The second account that we start at is our HSA. Now, you guys know I love the HSA. It is a health savings account. Now, not a lot of companies offer them, but if you do have access to one, this is a great vehicle for you to use in terms of investing. So there are 3 major tax benefits to an HSA. Number 1, the money goes in pre-tax. Okay, so it's just like the 401k or the 403b. Before the government takes their taxes out, you are saving for your future. So that's a plus. Okay, so the money gets taken out pre-tax. That money grows tax-free, so that's great. And then when you take it out to use it on qualified medical or health expenses, it's also tax-free. But there's a loophole, okay? There's a loophole here that they don't want you to know about, but it's 100% legal, and a lot of people are starting to talk about it more, and I'm one of those people, okay? So let's say you can pay as many of your medical expenses out of pocket. So your prescriptions, if you have a copay at the doctor or dentist, try to pay as many of those out of pocket as you can. Save your receipts, take a picture of it, upload it to the cloud. They have several apps now. You can upload it as a file on your computer and just keep a spreadsheet, but keep track of all of your receipts, and then The thing is, the government doesn't give you any type of deadline in the future to redeem yourself back out of your HSA. So that means if I want to reimburse myself back 10 years down the road, I'm letting all that money that I would have reimbursed myself from my HSA just grow and compound in the stock market. And then when I need it 10 years from now, I can take it out and I'm paying myself back, no taxes, no fees, no nothing. And so that's what I love about the HSA. And our plan for that is to get about $15,000 this year. We are definitely going to hit that mark. I think we're at about $14,000 now at the recording of this video. And since we are a family of 5, we are allowed to contribute $7,200 a year or $600 a month, and we are on track to max that out as well. Moving on, and I have my notes here because you already know. Moving on to the Roth IRA. This is the third great investment account that we use in our order of investing. Roths are really great because they are post-tax, meaning any money that hits your checking account, that is what you use to invest in a Roth IRA. Now, there are income limits and there is a cap. The cap is $6,000. You can't contribute more than $6,000 a year to your Roth IRA. But let's just say you make more than the income limit, like we do, then there is something called the backdoor Roth IRA. So basically you are just putting the money in a traditional IRA in one lump sum, let the money clear. So I always suggest do it on a Monday in the traditional IRA, and then the money will be cleared by Friday, and then just make the transfer from the traditional IRA to the Roth IRA. Okay, that is what's called a backdoor Roth in a simple nutshell. Now, granted, you will have to pay taxes on any growth. So let's say you put it in on Monday and by Friday it grew $10. You would pay tax on the $10. But again, the perk is that the rest of that money in the Roth grows tax free. Trivia time up on the screen. Trivia time. Can you tell me what the IRA acronym stands for? Without looking it up, we're on an honor system. Again, my channel is all about helping you to expand your investing knowledge. Can you tell me what the IRA and a Roth IRA and a traditional IRA and a SEP IRA stands for? Leave it down below. Okay, guys, moving on to and I'm going to do a side note here. So if you are self-employed, if you have a business that's registered like as an LLC or something of the like, you can have something called a solo 401k or a SEP IRA. So those are for people who have their own businesses on the sides, or maybe business for themselves full-time. Again, check with your tax person because there are different types of stipulations in terms of income and the state you live in. So check with that. But we did rather have a SEP IRA that we made into a Roth IRA, but I do plan on with MT1 Finance having a solo 401k next year. Again, just investing more. Take a piece of your profits and invest in that if you are self-employed. Moving on to our taxable brokerages. So this is another way in the order of investing that we're doing. So I just mentioned 4 types of accounts that we invest in: 401k, the HSA, the Roth IRA, and then the side self-employed type of investment account. So out of that $8,000 I just talked about, we already took care of 4 accounts. Yes, you can have more than one account. That is something we did not know. Yes, as long as the government allows and you fit within the guidelines, you can have more than one account. We have 12 of them, okay? And soon to be 13 when I open up the solo 401k for MT1 Finance next year, okay? So yes, you can have more than one. But yes, the taxable brokerage account, so that's your M1, your Webull, your Robinhood. Some of the Fidelity and Vanguard accounts are considered taxable brokerages. Again, you are putting money in those that are in your checking account. So those are after-tax accounts. Any money that's sitting in your checking account, you fund those types of accounts with that money. Now, these are taxable accounts because any gains you get from these accounts, you are subjected to taxes. So that may be short-term capital gains, that may be long-term capital gains. Just a quick tip, you want to shoot for long-term capital gains. So hold your securities, whether it's crypto, whether it's funds, whether it's bonds, whether it's stocks, for more than a year. Hold them for more than a year. Buy and hold, and you should be good, okay? But yes, we prioritize these accounts. We have a dividend account in Robinhood that I talk about on this channel a lot. We're building up our dividend portfolio, and we plan on achieving, the plan or the goal was, guys, to get $500 in dividends this year, and we already passed that in our last passive update video, which will be over there somewhere. But yes, again, compound interest. When you invest and you leave it and it continues to grow, then you invest some more on top of that and you leave it and you let it to grow, and you invest some more on top of that and you leave it and you let it to grow. That's compound interest for you. Compound interest is literally like the seventh wonder of the world for your money. It's really working your money, okay? So yes, the taxable brokerages those are the accounts. So we have like several of them. I have a video over here that we did of that where you can go back and detail, and we have several different types of accounts for several different types of reasons. So that's another tip I would give you guys. So like I said, we have a Robinhood dividend portfolio. We have interactive brokers that's for stock or growth stock. So we have 10 shares of Tesla. We have a whole share of Amazon. We have Target in that account, Starbucks in that account, just different companies that we feel like have a lot of growth left. In our Webull portfolio, we have a lot of startup SPAC companies. Remember, Tesla was once a startup. Amazon was once a startup. Starbucks was once a startup. We're trying to find good, solid companies to get in on the ground floor now. Okay, so those are just some examples of our taxable brokerage accounts. And then we have our children's account. Okay, so we do invest for our children. I do have a 15-year-old that we started investing for a couple years back, and we have a 9-year-old who has special needs, like I mentioned, and we have a son who is 9. So for the 9-year-old and the 15-year-old, we invest in a college account for them to help them with college. We put the bulk of the money we set aside for the kids in our 15-year-old's account because she doesn't have as much time left for that money to grow. So we're trying to speed up the process. But our 9-year-old has much more time than the 15-year-old. Now, our middle son, who is 11, he has special needs. That money, or his money, is in a special needs trust by our attorney. That way, when we are gone and not here anymore, our son, who will have just money compounding and compounding all these years, will have something to live on later in his life. So that is what we're doing for our children. And then last but certainly not least, whatever we have left of that $8,000 per month that we set aside to invest is going into our rental property account. Now, usually my husband gets a nice size bonus a year. On average, he gets about $50,000 to $60,000 in a bonus each year. Remember, my husband is an executive at a biopharma company. So all these clinical trials, all these vaccines, he works with that type of stuff. And so they get paid well and they get bonuses as well. So we wanted to make sure we use the bonuses correctly. So we give out of that bonus, we pay taxes out of that bonus, and then the rest of that money we put in another investment property. We put in an asset. So we're hoping to buy our third rental and buy our fire number, which is 42 years old. I'm currently 37. We hope to have 6 rental property. So that is how we kind of structure and manage our order of investing. It's a lot of accounts. It's a lot of stuff going on, but it's been working for us. Like I said, we just achieved millionaire status in August, and we started this journey 6 years ago. So we just increased our income, paid off the debt, keep our liabilities low, tried to be wise with how we use our money, and it just kind of grew from there. And I'm hoping that with this channel, I can help and inspire you guys to get started and then just continue on the path, because you never know what the future may hold for you and your money when you just get started and be consistent. So that is our order of investing for our early retirement. I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you have a question, leave it down below. Again, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and follow me over on Instagram. I would love to talk with you guys there. Again, thank you so much. And until next time, I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.